everybody, welcome to Geekoholics Anonymous, episode 5, where we talk about games, movies, TV, and whatever the hell we feel like. I'm here, my name's Rico, and I'm here with my co-host,
Dane Cody.
And usually we start off the show talking about news and whatnot. I didn't have a very exciting weekend. I hurt my back at work, and nothing too crazy went on. I don't know if you have any stories you want to share with the audience, Dane?
Oh man, this weekend was a bit of a busy one. Just kind of got out and spent some time in the sunshine, actually. It was a beautiful weekend here in Vancouver last weekend.
Yeah,
so
that was pretty nice.
Yeah, so spent some time at the beach and enjoyed the patio with the wife and had, enjoyed a pint.
Nice.
Yeah.
So you were playing games on the beach, right?
No.
No.
I won't lie. There was not a lot of gaming that happened last weekend. That was sort of my only disappointment, if you will, over the course of it.
Well, since I screwed up my back at work on Friday, I was essentially told to take it easy, and I pretty much did nothing all weekend except for veg and play vids. So it was kind of nice.
Sweet.
I felt pretty guilty with the nice weather, though.
Yeah, it was so nice.
I had lots of house errands and tasks I should have been doing, but I was on some nice painkillers, a little drowsy, and my back was hurting quite a bit, so I wasn't getting anything real done.
Yeah, it happens.
Oh yeah,
life happens.
Well, let's get into it. So this first section of the show, we usually like to talk about what we've been playing. So, what you playing?
I got some more into Deus Ex, Human Revolution. I had to go back, unfortunately, and redo all of that crap that I'd done. So essentially, yeah. So last time we talked, I sort of had left.
Stuck. You were saying essentially.
Yeah. So luckily, I had that was my quick save. That's where it was stuck out. Luckily, I'd actually done a real save, but unfortunately, my real save was done quite a ways before that. So I had to go back probably about 2 hours, give or take. And I kind of went back and I did it a different route this time. I actually haven't even attempted the police station yet. Again, I kind of got caught up doing a bunch of side missions and stuff like that. And, but this time I did go into the bottom floor of the police station and I talked to the guy that I was supposed to. And I found out that there is, the reason that the cops were just shooting at me all willy-nilly as soon as they saw me was because I guess when you walk in the front door, you can only get so far, and then there's a door, and there's 2 cops on each other side of the door, and they tell you, no, you can't go any further. This is a restricted area, authorized personnel only. So without, knowing that before in my previous playthrough, as soon as they saw me, they just started shooting at me. So it made a little bit more sense this time through.
You were just missing that bit of information that you weren't supposed to be there.
Yeah, kind of. So I ended up spending a few hours, like I said, doing some other stuff, leveling up some of my hacking skills and some of the other things on side missions and stuff. So hopefully, probably this, later on, probably before next podcast, I'm going to attempt the police station again, and hopefully it'll go better than it did last time. So, with that in mind, I am enjoying it more. There is definitely various ways that you can kind of play through it. It seems to be leaning towards a lot more stealth. So if you're into the stealthy stuff, it seems to be kind of right up that alley a little bit more. I know the one mission that I did, if I would have done it without being seen or caught or killing anybody, I know I would have got like extra mission bonuses because of that. I'm not very good at that, so I ended up shooting a whole bunch of dudes and, sort of playing it my way. And luckily, I just didn't get the extra mission bonus at the end or whatever, but it wasn't like I failed it or anything like that. So
you're liking it enough that you're going to go back to it. That's good.
Yeah. I mean, I want to give it a real fair shake. I've dropped about, I think, 6 or 8 hours into it so far. So I'm kind of, I want to give it at least, what I feel is at least a fair sort of assessment before deciding, if it's just pissing me off too much, then I'm gonna, if I'm gonna quit or not. But
Yeah.
I would like to see it through. I mean, I feel like the story is really intriguing, and I kind of want to see more of where that goes.
Like I said before, I've heard lots of good things. The only negatives I've really heard about that game are the boss fights.
Yeah. No, I mean, and again, I haven't gotten any of those yet, so I'll be very curious. Hopefully, I'll have one of those sort of to talk about next week. But yeah, I won't lie though. There is one thing that I gotta admit. It's a bit of a rant, if you will. But what is the deal with checkpoints in games? 10 years ago, as a PC gamer, when I played a PC game, didn't matter what it was, I could go in and I could hit save, and it would save exactly where
you
I
had
was.
your quick save, like one button, like that was one of the big pluses on PC gaming. At any time, you just boop.
It was amazing, and I honestly thought that was what consoles. I figured the reason we didn't get that was because obviously they didn't have hard drives to save files to and stuff. We had those little dinky memory cards and stuff like that. So
they didn't have the speed to make that instant save.
Yeah, but I always just thought that was going to be how it was going to go. And yet over the last, 10 years with the new consoles, the PS3 came, the Xbox 360 came and went. And what's happened is it seems like we're getting more and more checkpoints on PC, and fewer games just allow you to save in exactly the position that you were in. I mean, how many times have I played a game, over the last while where I save and I think I'm saved, and then I turn the game off and I come back and I find out that, oh no, sure, it saved my game and what was in my backpack and all that kind of crap, but it reloads me back at the nearest tavern, or it reloads me at the nearest, it just, why can't it just save where I want to save anymore?
Yeah, that's pretty annoying.
It's so annoying, and it seems to be just getting worse and worse.
It is definitely a console thing that obviously with the games being built, it kind of seems like with console in mind first and then ported to PC. Let's be honest, that's pretty much how most titles are nowadays. They have skipped that exact quick save functionality that we used to have. And yeah, you're stuck replaying sections of the game, whether it be a section you hated or got through flukily because it was really difficult. And you're like, oh, thank God I don't have to do that again.
Yeah. And on top of that, there's the sections where, you do a bunch of stuff and then you're like, oh, okay, well, I need to go do something now. But you can't, because you're like, okay, well, I'm not at a place where I know if I save, I'm going to stay there. I know that if I save here, I'm actually going to end up back at the last, wherever it wants me to be at. It's really frustrating. And I don't know how on earth the PC quick save, being able to save anywhere and everywhere, didn't end up coming over onto consoles, and how it ended up being the other way around. To me, I figured now that we've got hard drives in big areas and stuff, you'd think that stuff would be the stuff that would come over from the PC.
It's interesting. I had to pay more attention to it, but yeah, definitely it is an annoying thing. You're sitting there, you're playing, especially with RPGs or open world games, and you're in the middle of a mission. Oh, honey, we gotta go. Or someone shows the ding dong, the mailman shows up or whatever, and you're in the middle of a boss fight. Yeah, you can pause it, but for the instances where you have to leave the house, it would be nice. Just click, save. And that's how everything was. And that still exists in quite a few games. But yeah, the majority of them are losing that functionality for sure. That is annoying.
Yeah. So anyways, I've noticed, from what I can tell, Deus Ex does allow you to do the big saves, but there isn't a quick save functionality. You can do, like I said, the save. You can go in, hit escape, hit save, and save. Now I haven't messed with it enough to know if by doing that, it's going to save you exactly where you were. So I haven't done that in the middle of kind of a mission, if you will. I've only ever done that kind of in the big areas of sort of the world, if you will. So I'm kind of curious. I'm going to look at that a little bit more. But yeah, that's one of those things. I've had that pop up a few times over the while with PC games, And I hate that I can't quick save like I used to be able to. And now instead I'm forced to do the stupid console style saves. It just drives me nuts.
You should start a petition.
Yeah.
Those are really popular on the internet.
Yeah, that's what I hear. So that's more or less what I've been playing. Obviously playing a little more Marvel Heroes 2015. Yeah. Started a new character.
I installed it, but didn't play it.
Yeah, I'm playing X-23 now. A little bit different than Daredevil was, but enjoying it again.
Nice. I'll make time for that. There's a little lull now, I think, for the next couple weeks until Witcher 3 comes out.
Yeah. But no, that's, like I said, Deus Ex there are a lot of things that game does really well that I'm really liking. I'm starting to get a few of the augmentations and stuff now. So, I can actually jump properly. I just augmented my jump so I can actually move and traverse a little better. But they definitely do give you a real good way of being able to sort of do anything kind of the way you would like. I'm definitely always amazed. There's been a few times now where I've managed to get into a room or something like that. And then I find out, once I'm in there, that there was totally at least one or two other ways that I could have got there.
Yeah.
That I didn't manage to get there, however, right? So that's kind of neat. Like always sort of looking and keeping your eye out in those types of games to see, where you can go and how you could get there and stuff. So that's kind of neat. I'm definitely liking that. It's very reminiscent to the first one. So I'm appreciating that. So we'll keep playing it and we'll see how it goes.
So, I played a bunch of more Mortal Kombat.
Nice.
I haven't beat it yet.
You're playing that on PS4, right?
Yeah, on PS4.
Okay.
I am getting pretty deadly with Scorpion. I do have to experiment with some of the other characters. I've heard some good things about a couple of the new characters, specifically a nice cheap combo that will win you games online, but everyone will hate you for it. So...
Oh, okay.
I think I'm going to have to try that out later tonight to unlock a particular trophy. You got to get 10 wins in a row online and ranked. So
oh, wow.
I think I might have to resort to that dirty tactic to get that done. But
you haven't figured out how to get around that yet?
Well, I've been playing people that are I don't know if it might be something they can patch. It must be some kind of animation, like just timing on it. It's just you can't react. I think there is a specific way, but you're obviously going to have to be playing against some really good people to counterattack it.
No, okay.
So from what I hear, it's pretty effective.
Borderline cheaty, but
so I play that in little sessions. I do 5 or 6 of the story missions, which are basically just fights, right? Intertwined with the story and the cutscenes. And then I've been doing it's kind of funny. They have the faction war, which has dailies. So
okay, interesting.
They have daily challenges where it's win 3 games with Johnny Cage, win a fight with no uppercuts, or don't jump and win a fight or whatever, right? They're random. They're totally different, and you get faction points, and there's about 3 a day. So I've been doing those dailies and getting faction rep. So on a weekly basis, there's 5 different factions. The winning faction gets special unlocks and bonuses and so forth. So I happen to be in the winning faction last week, which was kind of nice. So it unlocked a couple faction specific fatalities, which are kind of neat.
Interesting.
Yeah, they're different than the regular fatalities, and some emblems and icons and coins and stuff.
Are the fatalities just sort of slight variations of the ones that you already had? Are they actually totally different?
I haven't pulled off a faction fatality, but they're totally different from what I know. They're totally different.
Sweet. So there's actually real reason to kind of go and try and get those. Yeah,
because everyone has their 2 fatalities, and then you get then there's a faction fatality. And I don't know if that's shared across the faction characters or if every character has a faction-specific fatality. I don't know because I haven't pulled one off yet, so I don't know. But I know I've unlocked the ability to do it. There's a bunch of stuff that's that you got to figure out that's locked, that you use the coins to buy and stuff, which is kind of neat. So all the characters are unlocked from the get-go, so you don't have that reason to keep playing story mode over and over again to unlock characters. You're unlocking fatalities, brutalities, different costumes and so forth.
Okay. So it sounds like they're sort of changing it up a little bit to kind of keep things a bit fresh.
The only problem with the faction war is the server has just been getting hammered. So quite often you get server errors when trying to refresh it.
That's kind of annoying.
And I've been doing the towers. The same thing. They have like hourly, daily, and weekly towers, which are randomized. And if you remember the first Mortal Kombat, I think it was the first one, it was kind of like you were progressing through a tower in arcade mode, fight after fight after fight after fight till you get to the end boss.
Yeah, and I don't know about the first one. I don't know if I actually ever played Mortal Kombat 1. No, it might have been Mortal Kombat 2 did that.
It was 2. You're right. It was number 2. So anyway, you can... These living towers randomize enemies, events, and, modifiers, and they change daily, and they have different rewards, and they have like gold, bronze, and silver... little medals you get and stuff you unlock. So I do those. And I play a little bit of online. I played against some jerk that was playing as the end boss, so he was being super cheap. That's not the cheap tactic though, but man, I almost beat him, so it was really close. I've been having a lot of fun with it. Like I want to play more. Like it's a solid game. Like it's really good.
That's awesome. So, that's good to hear.
So
makes me want to go back and play some more Injustice.
Yeah. Yeah, I have Injustice installed, and it's like sitting there on the bar next to it, and like, I got to go back and play a bunch of that and unlock a bunch of trophies. Injustice was amazing, and Mortal Kombat is really good.
Yeah.
I put Shovel Knight down here just because it's timely, because it just came out on PS4 and Vita.
Right, yeah.
I actually didn't play it on PlayStation 4 Vita. It's not that much different, but I played it on 3DS. This is the one time I've ever kickstarted a project. I kickstarted Shovel Knight, yeah. Because cool. I knew the guys who were making it, their pedigree for side-scrolling games on the DS, and I just had confidence that it was going to be a good product from all the stuff they had revealed with their Kickstarter. And of course, it turned out being like one of the best indie games last year. And I think it was on Wii U, PC, and 3DS. So I played on 3DS, and it's like your Mega Man, but it's not shooting. It's kind of like Melee. 2D, like 8-bit graphics. Maybe you can say they're 16-bit. Not even. Like
I think they're 16. Yeah. I mean, I feel like they went with the 16. Yeah, they're definitely a little bit better than 8-bit.
Awesome chiptune music.
Yes, the music in that game is fantastic.
Fun game. I was so contemplated buying it again on PS4 because it's on discount right now on PlayStation Plus. So I think I might do that. I just didn't pick it up because I had already played it and I just don't have the time for it right now. But it would be I could imagine it being a way better game on Vita with that bigger screen. And honestly, I think the Vita is better suited for a game of that type.
Yeah, I won't lie. That's actually what I've been contemplating, is picking it up on the Vita. It feels like the perfect Vita game.
If you don't own it, I would pick it up.
I don't actually own it. Like I said,
if you like those Mega Man, that I Mario 2D old school type games, like it's that, but built in 2013 or 2014, whenever it originally came out. So it's got a lot of the sensibilities of newer games, but it still, holds true to that old school style game.
Yeah, no, definitely. If you're kind of into that type of game, my friend Mike actually just dropped Jump Jet Rex today on Steam.
On Steam, he put a tweet out. That's kind of cool.
Yeah. So that's I've kind of had a chance to. It was in early access before. Now they actually released it officially today. So it's
okay. That
he's got it on
today.
Sale for. Yeah. He dropped that today. He was pretty exciting. If you like jumping and dinosaurs, and it's just a fun game.
It's a 2D action platformer.
Yeah.
Okay, now here's a question. Did he make that game, or did they contract that out to someone?
No, Mike Gabori from Filthy Casual is actually he's the artist on that game.
Cool.
Yeah.
So he did the art and someone else did the programming and stuff, or?
As far as I'm aware, yes. I know he did the art, so yeah.
I wonder how they made that. I've been messing around with reading up on making a game because I don't know, for whatever reason, I really want to make like an iPhone Android game. Like,
okay.
Just for something to do, like I did this, I made that, like just a
Well, I don't know. Did you play? They made a previous game called Barbarian. It's on mobile. I don't know if you played it or not.
I heard of,
it's a lot of fun, actually.
I never played it though.
Yeah, they did a really good job of. It's kind of one of those games where you press the screen and your guy moves sort of towards your finger, and so you kind of use the attacks and stuff like that are kind of automatic depending on what's going on. But you use your finger to sort of move the guy around, and it controls really well, and it's a lot of fun. I mean, it's a great game for mobile. So if you're sitting there and you have a couple of minutes, but you don't have a ton of time to play something, it's worth having on your phone to play, and it can get a bit addicting. I won't lie. I was playing it there the one night and, lost easily an hour while I was sort of watching TV and playing that at the same time.
You should ask them when you have a chance to talk to them next time what they used, like if they used Unity or Game Maker or some other studio.
I'm pretty sure they use Unity.
I've been hearing
if I remember correctly.
Unity is pretty easy to get into. Well, not obviously there's learning curve, but it's like that's like you can get into it, not necessarily have any really coding knowledge.
Yeah, no, I'm pretty sure they use Unity if everything. I remember him talking about it, so I'm pretty sure that's what they use, at least for Jump Jet Rex.
I have it downloaded
which
on
I'm
my
pretty
computer,
sure it's the same
maybe
one.
One day I'll make an iPhone game and I'll make millions and you guys will all hear about it. You can get in on the beta.
Nice.
And Microsoft was nice enough. I also was playing State of Decay on my Xbox One.
Wow.
So that's
had a reason to boot that bad boy up.
That doesn't come out for I think another week or so. I had it all last week, but it was under embargo until today, so you may have noticed some streams go up today or videos go up today. It is just like a remaster essentially of Xbox 360 game, and I believe it was on PC as well.
I believe you're correct.
So for anyone who doesn't know what it is, it's an open world zombie game with resource management and like random timed missions. Obviously, there's the main storyline, but yeah, you help people and they join your group and you have like a home base and you essentially get more people and then you need more resources for those people like food and so forth. Cause every day, your resources go down by a certain amount.
Oh,
and you can fortify your home base so that it, withholds like hordes of zombies that happen to be traveling the world. There's like zombies everywhere. And if you leave them unchecked, they form hordes. So if your defenses aren't very well set up well, or your resources, if you don't have any, you're going to potentially lose survivors in your crew, which essentially are kind of like your lives, because how it works is you have your particular character you're playing at the moment, and they have their stamina. At a certain point, they get tired, and then their stamina won't recover past a certain point. So the bar gets smaller and smaller and smaller. So then you get less effective at fighting. You can't run. You can carry less and so forth. So you have to switch survivors, and you can only switch to survivors that you have a good relationship with. And you form that or get points with the other survivors by doing missions with them, helping them get resources, or when you save them and stuff, or train them, because you can train them, take them on little combat missions and stuff, and then their faith goes up and so forth. And
is this predominantly multiplayer? Or is this all single player?
No, it's all single player. That's the huge complaint about this game.
Interesting.
Well, there's another complaint about this game, but the big thing is, this game screams for co-op. This game would be amazing co-op, but it's not. It seems like it would be kind of MMO-ish and a definite multiplayer game. But
yeah, I mean, everything you just described sounds like ripe for. I mean, it sounds like kind of a toned down with base building version of like H1Z1 or something like that, kind of, you know what I mean?
Exactly. Like people on stream were like looking at it and it's like, is this H1Z1? It looks like it. And it's like, no, this has been out a couple years before that. It's really neat. Like, so I'm at the point where I've moved bases. So you basically drop everything, pick up and leave, and you can migrate to a bigger place so you can handle more people, and you can customize your base like with workshops or a garden or a library, and depending what you have in your base, it unlocks different perks or stuff that you can craft.
Right.
And of course, you have to go out in the world, get different ingredients and materials for all these different things you're doing in your base.
So essentially, it gives you a reason to get out of your base and go kill some zombies.
And you have to, like, you know, at certain points, you'll have, like, hordes. Like, there's a girl in your base, that's her name is Lily. She'll hit you up on the radio, and she's like, oh, there's a horde headed our way. You better get back here quick.
Oh,
so
okay.
Then you got to deal with that if you're not keeping the area in check around your base, because you can actually clear out the buildings. And then it lowers like the population around the area, and it marks the map with what resources are available if you don't pick them up. Like you can leave them and send scouting parties to go pick up the stuff if you don't want to deal with it.
Okay.
But yeah,
is there a chance that like the scouting parties will get like attacked and stuff
absolutely.
though? Or
there's definitely a chance, like if the characters aren't that strong, they'll actually radio for help, and you know, there's a risk reward. They might die. I haven't had anyone die yet that I hadn't had to put down myself, which is kind of cool because you have like a medic area and you need medicine and stuff like that, and I think it was part of the story, though, with one of the characters that I had, that he got sick. Because I had tons of medicine, and I had a medic bay, and there was no real reason for it to happen, but I think it was to kind of just show you this is what happens if your supplies get low. So he was sick, and it's like, you need to deal with it before something happens, and it's like, hey, man, let's go on a mission. And then I took this guy out on a mission, and it's like, he's like, oh, I'm not feeling too good. And it's like, now's your chance. Put him out before he changes. So I had to kill the guy before he turned into a zombie.
Oh, wow.
So that was kind of cool.
It's a third-party game, or a third-person game, right?
Yeah, third-person, open world. And, you know, like...
Is it, like, super realistic? Like, sort of H1Z1 or DayZ? Or is it a little bit more sort of video gamey?
It's pretty video gamey. That's the one thing I would complain about this game is it's pretty janky. Like, it's probably 30 frames per second. Like, driving vehicles doesn't necessarily feel that good. But the game systems that are there, the base management and the missions are just kind of fun. So, you know, it's not that bad that it's like, oh, this game sucks. It's like, no, the game's solid. It's just a little janky. That's the one thing that I don't understand. Like, this game's on Xbox One, but it looks like an Xbox 360 game. I was really expecting it to be like 1080p 60 at least, especially for the way it looks. Like, it's not a pretty game. It's not winning any awards for graphics.
It sounds to me like the rest of the game, though, is where sort of a lot of the resources end up, right? You know, you've got a lot of like those other systems in place where you can base build, and you can, you know, it's a big world, so it's open.
That's what I was thinking. So, I mean, it must be... It remembers where vehicles are. It remembers all the vehicles in the world and their state. There's only so many vehicles, and if they get destroyed, they're destroyed. You know, they're not coming back. So it must be kind of like that Skyrim kind of thing, where it gets to a point where it's like there's so much item management and systems going on that it just they can't really get more out of the engine, I guess, graphically for all the systems to work.
Yeah, I mean, that's kind of what it sounds like.
It's a fun game, though. It would be amazing. Co-op, it would be amazing. And the guys who make it, they're Undead Labs, and I think they're somewhere near Seattle. And they were talking online. I was watching them play on a stream a little while ago, and they were talking about, you know, we've got an agreement to make another game with Microsoft, you know, and co-op is something everyone keeps talking about. So, you know, without saying it, they were saying it that they're most likely working on a sequel to this game, and it'll have co-op. And they obviously have a lot more resources now partnering with Microsoft. So I imagine there's going to be a sequel to this game that will look awesome and will also have co-op. And it's like, it's a fun,
I wonder if like by then though, I mean, I don't know. myself personally, I'm in a bit of a spot here where I'm kind of tired of zombie games. I mean, I feel like there's so many over the last couple of years where you've got H1Z1 and DayZ and, Dying Light. I mean, that one at least kind of tried to do a few different things. Dead Island 2. I don't know. I feel like, yeah, I don't know. For me, I'm a bit done with the zombie thing. Like,
it is a little cliche, but
I mean, it kind of feels like a few years ago when everything was World War II first-person shooters. Like, I feel like that's where we're at with zombie games,
I think
though.
Zombies are easy too, right? Like, your rating doesn't have to be as high either, because they're not humans, they're zombies, they're monsters, right? So the violence is kind of looked at differently. So there's
I guess that's
there's
true.
a plus in your violence, when it's zombies as opposed to just straight people.
Yeah, I guess so.
It's a good game,
but still
needs co-op. It's a little janky.
I wonder if co-op's something they could add. I mean, I guess at this point, if it's that old, they're probably not going to.
You would have thought they would have added it with this version.
Yeah. Well,
there are some other
to keep an eye on.
There's expansions and other modes that are in there, and I don't know.
Right.
They might have co-op. I didn't touch them though. I just been playing the main campaign. I just think they were different game modes. I'm pretty positive there's no co-op. So, but I could be totally wrong. I'm only about 10, 12 hours in, and I'm liking it. I want to play more. That's besides Mortal Kombat. It's occupying all my time.
Okay, well that's a good sign. I mean, like you said, even if it's a bit janky and stuff here and there, it sounds like it's kind of worth a play.
I believe. I mean,
you're at least enjoying it.
I believe it's only $20. It might be 30. There might be a discount when it first comes out. I think it comes out, when's the 28th? Is that Tuesday? Yeah, so it comes out next Tuesday. If you missed it on Xbox and you got nothing else to play, it's definitely, it's worth checking out, I'd say.
Yeah.
Like, the price is right, especially for the amount of content you get.
Right.
And it's fun.
Well, if you're into zombies,
why you play games,
lots
right?
of people
you play games for fun.
Yeah, exactly.
That's about all I've been playing. I guess we could probably move into the news and stuff. It's been a quiet week and a not so quiet week. It's actually been kind of huge and not huge all at the same time.
Yes, let's talk about newsy stuff.
News.
Yeah.
So, obviously, right out of the gate, the big bomb that dropped on Friday was a new trailer for Star Wars Battlefront. And release date, November 17th.
This year.
Yeah. Probably playable, I'd imagine, at E3 and PAX.
If it's not playable at PAX in September and they're releasing in November, that's going to be a problem.
Yeah. So what did you think of the trailer?
Well, I mean, they said, there's a big thing on the trailer. This is all in-game. It says it's in-game engine.
Yeah, game.
It's not saying it's necessarily
footage.
In-game. Yeah, so they're not saying like this is what the game's going to look like when you play it. All they're saying is this is what the game engine can do when, we take control of it
cinematics.
And do something with it. And the cinematics are gorgeous.
Yeah,
it looks beautiful.
It looks awesome. Like, that's an awesome trailer. Like, wow.
Oh, yeah.
It's like, holy crap, this game looks amazing.
Oh, yeah, and I'm sure that a shite load of people ran out and pre-ordered it already. That being said, I mean, I think there was a tiny little bit of gameplay footage at the very end where I think there was a couple cuts, with the TIE fighter and stuff. I think that might have been actual gameplay, but in all honesty, for me, it's too early to tell. And I'm not gonna lie, like, they're announcing November 17th, and yet they haven't even shown any like in-game screenshots yet. That's I don't know. I mean,
if you were at Star Wars Celebration and you were some of the high-end gaming media, they did have a demo, I heard.
Oh, okay.
And there was, from first-person perspective. And they said it looked good. The only thing they were skeptical is that, of course, it's running on dev kits, which are super high-end PCs, right? So it's gonna look a lot better. and no one got to play it. No one touched it. They only saw
Right.
All it was
a
short segment being played. So they did see that it was being played. I think. No. Maybe I could be wrong. I believe that it was just video of gameplay. No one actually had a controller. So
yeah, see, so I mean, I don't know. Like, I won't lie. If I was a betting man, I would almost say that this is going to get pushed to next year. But the fact that they've like gone out and made a big deal out of this November 17th announcement, you know, I don't know. Maybe we're going to end up in a situation where they release it too early and we get another Battlefield 4 situation where it takes them 6 months to fix all the stuff that's broken.
I don't think they'll let that happen again.
I don't think they can.
No, I think they've learned their lesson. I'm pretty sure they won't do that again.
Yeah, but I don't know. I mean, that seems awfully early for as little as we've seen of this game. You know, and maybe, obviously, everybody does these things a little differently. Maybe EA's sort of holding it a little closer to their chest. But, I mean, normally we're seeing like decent videos and screenshots and stuff of a game at this point. So, I don't know. I mean, and I would have figured that at, Star Wars Celebration, they would have showed gameplay, not just a cinematic video.
Well, yeah, there was gameplay there, but that was kind of the thing that was like, if you were there, you could wait in line and you could see it. Apparently, there was an extra special demo for media, but you could go see game. It's one of those things like, you came to the convention, this is exclusive for you. So that's kind of cool. Like, people got to see something that no one else got to see in this day and age of the internet, where most of the time you don't even have to attend these events. And Dane is dying.
Yep.
So,
excuse me.
It's all right. I don't know. The trailer looked amazing. My interest is totally piqued.
I'm super interested to try it.
They started development on this a long time ago, because this is going to be the year of Star Wars, and I think they got their ducks in line, and I'm pretty sure they're going to deliver. So
I'm really hoping so. I mean, it's been a long time since the last Star Wars Battlefront 3 got canceled.
I never played them, but I heard one of my coworkers at work said he probably played like 500 hours of Battlefront 2. And he's like,
yeah, man, my brother was obsessed with it on the PS2.
He's like, I'm going to buy a PlayStation 4 like now.
Wow.
And he understood that trailer is in engine, and he's like not a hardcore gamer. So, it's just to get everyone pumped. So that's kind of cool. It looks good.
Yeah. Yeah.
Obviously, we'll wait.
Like I said, I'm cautiously optimistic currently.
Cautiously optimistic is the key word.
But I think it, like you said, it looks great. I am still kind of skeptical that they're going to release it this year, but
is it coming to PC? I can't even remember.
You know what? I want to say yes, but I cannot say yes with any real definitive.
It seems to be pretty tied to PS4 in terms of all the promotion. So I think Sony might have got in there.
That would be smart on Sony's part, man. That would be really smart. If you could release those trailers of, attaching it to the PS4, kind of like they did with Destiny, that would go a long way.
Mm-hmm. So
that'd be a smart move.
Also in Sony news, there was a trademark filed for a PlayStation Vita Model 3000.
Yeah, I saw that.
Yeah, a Redditor picked up the images. I obviously don't know who, but it's all leaked all over the internet. And apparently it has L and R2 buttons and an HDMI out.
Which sounds to me kind of like they've now combined the full PS3 or PS4 controller as well as the PlayStation TV all into one unit.
Yeah, it's pretty cool. I really like my Vita. I use it a lot.
Yeah,
I'd probably remote play a lot of games, except for some reason the remote play on Bloodborne is terrible without the triggers. Like, the back touch is not responsive enough to use effectively, so it makes that game impossible to play. So this system with the extra buttons is kind of cool. The HDMI is kind of neat because then you can essentially hook it up downstairs on your other TV and use it as a remote play to your PS4 in the other room, or even just use it as like a Netflix player on your second or third TV, which is kind of neat.
Yeah,
so
I mean, that's cool. That's a sweet idea. Or even just doing.
If
it turns out to be true, I mean, that's the other kicker right now. I mean, we don't really have any info from this. Sony hasn't said anything yet.
It might be a Japan only thing.
Yeah, who knows? Or Japan for the next, 6 months and then us. The other question that I would have about this is, are they changing the insides at all, or is it going to still be the Vita inside?
Yeah.
Or are they adding more RAM?
A hardware bump,
are they going to be?
Is this a new
exactly.
System? These are
they going to do the whole new 3DS?
These are just the things on the outside they saw. So
yeah,
I don't know if they're going to do. I'd be surprised if they do another Vita.
Yeah, I would be. I think, to be honest, I don't think it would be a smart move by Sony to change the inside. Adding extra computational power or adding more RAM or something like that, because I just don't think that the user base would appreciate that very much.
Well,
but
and with the way mobile is right now, like phones and tablets pretty much dominate that market. So,
yeah, I just don't know if by cutting their Vita market in half would be, a smart decision on their part.
I would definitely love another Vita. I like the Vita. It's an awesome system. Unfortunately, in this day and age with everyone having their phones and stuff, it's less compelling to carry another device. Most people can't be bothered, which sucks.
Yeah. No, it's true. It's true. I mean, I don't know if after this generation of handhelds is over, I don't know if we're going to see another handheld from Sony personally.
Yeah. Well, I guess we'll find out.
Yeah,
they won't. I'm pretty sure they won't announce anything at E3 this year. But if there was no announcement by next year, then yeah, the Vita will potentially probably be their last handheld, unless they do something that goes hand in hand with their next system, kind of like the Wii, just for like in-home remote play functionality. Because remote play is awesome, but honestly,
remote play is sweet.
They should, if they got the system cost down enough that they could just bundle it in with the PS4.
Mm-hmm.
That's how they could make the Vita super successful.
Yeah, I mean, I was actually really surprised. I mean, there was all those rumors swirling around back at the initial PS4 announcement this last Christmas that we were going to see a Vita PS4 bundle.
Yeah, and that never came to light.
No, and I mean, I can't help but think that was a missed opportunity by Sony. If you could shave off $100 of buying the two of them together, or make it really, appetizing for people, I mean, I don't see why a lot of people wouldn't have kind of jumped on that, especially parents that don't really know any better and they're buying it for their kids.
Yep.
I mean, they see PS4 and then they see Vita and they see them together. That, to me, that's everybody wins. But you get more Vitas in people's hands and they start playing with it and they realize remote play is really sweet.
It'll be interesting to see if they even give any time to the Vita at E3 this year.
Yeah, the Vita's been like that slow burn for them for the last while, like no big games necessarily have been pushing to it, and yet
but tons of
seems
awesome,
to be doing well,
tons
and
of awesome
tons of
indie
indies.
games. Pretty much every indie game that's on PS4 is crossplay on Vita, which is awesome.
Yeah, which makes owning a Vita even better, because now suddenly you can take those on the go.
Axiom Verge, the Vita version, comes out next month, which is pretty cool. I actually played some more of that,
and I'd like to see Freedom Wars 2. I've been playing the snot out of that on my Vita.
Freedom Wars at Walmart, I think, for $10, and I contemplated picking it up.
Should have picked it up.
Maybe if I swing by there again and it's still there, I'll grab it.
It's worth owning. It is honestly worth owning, and I'm not just saying that because I'm friends with the producer.
Yes,
it is honestly worth. It is honestly worth playing. It's a great game.
No, I know. It's Game Over Greg.
Greg Miller.
Yeah, he loves it. He rants about it on Twitter all the time.
Yeah, the last time he was in town at the charity event, he had people asking him to sign their copy of Freedom Wars.
That's funny.
So. Yeah, it was good.
Also, well, this is Sony and Xbox news. They had for Destiny, the House of Wolves expansion. Bungie had a live stream today revealing some of the new areas of the game. The
Reef.
Yeah, the Reef, the new public area. They talked about some of the upgrade paths, the quest givers, and so forth.
Yeah, they also were like announcing some of the new like weapons and stuff like that they were going to be adding, and they're talking about I think they said that the level was going to get bumped up to 34. Yeah.
My interest is definitely peaked. I launched Destiny today. I haven't launched it in probably 2-3 months. So
wow.
Yeah, I'm more excited for this expansion now. I think I was kind of turned off, but it just boils down to how this end game content's going to play out and how much story they added. But
I saw the trailer that they released for that, the story sort of trailer where they're talking about, kind of what's going on in the reef and stuff. And it looked really interesting. I'm hoping that if they actually, utilize some of what they've teased us about in that trailer, that this could be a really cool expansion.
Yeah, so far it looks kind of neat.
But,
they have 2 more live streams before it comes out. So they're going to show the end game player versus player environment and the end game player versus environment PvE.
That was kind of
so that's going to be neat. It's cool. I really like something that's probably going to make a lot of fans happy and is actually going to make maybe a bunch of people come back is the upgrade path they announced for your gear and your guns. You can essentially upgrade anything up to the new level cap, which that sounds amazing.
Which is super cool.
Because
especially for those people that grinded the snot out of their stuff and have like super sweet stuff.
There's a couple guns, legendary guns from the first raid that they didn't get upgraded, but they were so good that you still used them. They were better than higher powered guns. Like for example, the one gun in particular is a Fatebringer, is a hand cannon, and when you headshot,
I never liked the hand cannon in that
this
game.
This one's awesome. When you headshot enemies, they explode, and it's a primary with arc damage, so that's unique as well. This thing,
that's kind of
wrecked shop in Nightfalls. In just like any situation, it was such a good gun. So you'll be able to take that gun and upgrade it to the new level cap, which is wicked. That's really cool that they did that. So I think they learned because they kind of burnt a bunch of people on the last expansion with how convoluted the process was for upgrading. It depended randomly if Zur was in town and if he was carrying the particular weapon or item that you wanted to upgrade. You couldn't just upgrade whatever if you had the materials and resources. It was also a little bit of a lottery system if Buddy came to town carrying it for you to be able to upgrade, which is kind of annoying.
Yeah.
So, I think...
Interesting.
Yeah.
Well, I was always intrigued with this new expansion, but in all honesty, the changes that I'm seeing them making, I don't know. I'm, like I said before, I'm cautiously optimistic.
The stuff sounds good. Hopefully there's a decent amount of content. I definitely want to play more Destiny. I think I'm missing 2 exotic weapons. I have like pretty much every exotic in it. I played it a lot. I don't know what I
don't honestly know if I own an exotic in that game or not.
I don't know what the game clock is, but I'm missing all but 2 exotics. One has to do with the second raid, which I could not get into because no one wanted to take a newbie, even though I had fully upgraded weapons and I'm not an idiot. No one's really willing to just take someone who doesn't know it because, number one, it's difficult, and then you add the bugs in the raid, and it's such a waste of time, and it's so defeating if you're trying to bring someone who doesn't know what's going on in there. It's just anyway.
Did you ever play the Vault of Glass?
Oh yeah. The Vault of Glass is a piece of cake. That's easy. Oh. That's easy to get into groups for that one. But Crota's End is I don't know if it's difficult anymore. My coworker, he plays with a bunch of people on PS3. He was saying, and he says you can solo the end boss now. I know there was some. There's some exploits with all the raids where you can solo particular portions on your own.
Right.
And I was doing that with Crota's End, but you couldn't. The parts that you could solo didn't drop weapons. They only dropped gear, and they didn't drop the helmet. So I've got everything except for the one piece I need, to get to level 32, or I couldn't get any of the new guns. And, you know, with that randomness and the bugginess of some of the raid encounters, like I said, people aren't willing to drag someone new through there and get frustrated with not being able to complete a challenge. But yeah, the Vault of Glass it's like clockwork. It's pretty simple with a good group. I know I didn't have a hard time with it. I could do the relic. I could do a lot of the tasks that a lot of people are like, oh, I don't want to do that. I don't know how to do that. It was a lot of fun. Like,
yeah, I need to play some more Destiny. It's been a while since I've turned it on.
Was pretty awesome. Like, and see, that's the thing is like, there's these sections of the game that are so brilliant, and it's like, oh, we need more of this. But I think designing those must be super difficult or time consuming. I bet you they'll be as good as Destiny is. I'm pretty sure number 2 is just going to blow it out of the water.
There's no doubt. There's no doubt.
A building block learning experience for them, right?
Oh yeah, this is Assassin's Creed 1, right? The second one is going to sort of fix
our famous comparison. Everything's Assassin's Creed 1. You play an assassin every game, you just don't know it.
Yeah, there you go. Exactly.
I guess I'm excited. So that's unfortunately it's at the same time as Witcher 3. But
is it though? They're so different. I feel like you could kind of jump between the two of them, and sort of when you're, tired of sort of running around lopping heads off as the Witcher, you could kind of switch over, play a little Destiny, and keep things fresh.
No. Second I play a RPG, I get so hooked I don't do anything else.
Yeah, I was tempted actually this last weekend to load up The Witcher 2 actually and play some of that to sort of get me in the mood for The Witcher 3 coming out, but I decided to play some more Deus Ex instead.
I got 3 weeks before it comes out, a little over 3 weeks. You could probably beat it.
Yeah, I don't have that. I don't have nearly as much time as I would like to play games.
Yeah.
My time playing games is I get a bit in some of the evenings and usually on the weekend mornings, but it's not nearly as much as I'd liked, to have, obviously, or what I used to have. That's for sure. So.
With the better weather, with the better weather, we're taking the dog out a lot more, and I definitely see that the day is a little longer, so it kind of bites into the gameplay time. It's not getting dark as early, so it's not like instant veg time after dinner.
Yeah, exactly. So, and then obviously like friends and the wife and everybody, they want to do stuff on the weekends. The weather's nice and stuff. So, we'll see. I'm going to keep plodding on with Deus Ex, and, who knows though, I go through phases when it comes to games for myself. I'll go through a phase where I'll, play tons of a certain game, and then I'll go to play it again, and that week I just don't feel like it, so I'll play something else.
You're just like, I'm done.
Yeah, and I don't want to play it. And then sometimes I'll pick it up again, and sometimes I won't. It depends. So we'll see. So right now, Deus Ex is kind of on my radar, and I'll keep on that for the time.
If I magically finish up with Mortal Kombat and State of Decay, I might sneak that in there before Witcher. We'll see.
Yeah,
I'd like to touch base with it. I might just play it closer to when the other one comes out. I have such a big
But I also don't want to burn myself out of The Witcher either. So
that's true.
Yeah, I'm worried a bit that if I go play The Witcher 2, The Witcher 3 will come out, and then I'll be like, oh, but it's different, but it's so similar
kind of
still.
The same, yeah.
Yeah.
I think I did that with Assassin's Creed. I played 2 back to back, and then it's like, I'm like, I don't want to play any more of this. I think it was number 3. Assassin's Creed 2 Brotherhood and Assassin's Creed 3. I really liked Brotherhood, and then I immediately went into 3, and it was like, I don't want to play this. This is the same effing thing. So,
yeah, that's fair.
So I guess other news.
Well, they dropped earlier today. Sega dropped Total War Warhammer on the world. Not a whole lot of information on this yet. All they really did was release a really sweet trailer for it, which was all just CG, and I mean, it was awesome. But it's the Warhammer, so that would be the sort of the ogres and undead and sort of that
the
style
Chaos
of game.
Marines.
No, that's Warhammer 40K.
Oh.
This is the normal Warhammer.
I don't know. I don't know my Warhammers. I'm gonna jump out a window.
So this is the Total War Warhammer with the ogres, or not really the ogres, like the trolls, the greenskins as they call them, I think, in the game.
That's not racist at all.
It's a pretty cool trailer. Shows it's being done by the same, guys that did Total War.
Those games are really well received and popular with the audience who loves them, that's for sure.
Yeah, real-time strategy fans are super excited about this. They feel like this is a really good match for this game. Because, obviously the Warhammer game themselves are very sort of like a, slow.
Yeah, they're a strategy game, except for played on a
exactly.
table.
So this is, I think it's a pretty good fit. We haven't seen any gameplay yet for this. So like I said, it was sort of the announcement. You get the cool cinematic trailer. So we'll see more to come.
Knowing the pedigree of the developers and the IP, I'm sure it's a pretty good marriage.
Yeah, that's kind of the way I feel
without seeing anything
too.
I could say with confidence, I'm pretty sure it'll be a really good strategy game that fans of Warhammer and obviously Total War will be pretty happy with. I think the thing for Total War fans is just like a different genre for them as opposed to just medieval and like samurai and classical strategy. It's just a different take to freshen things up for those fans, because they've had so many Total Wars like Rome and so forth. So, kind of like, they might be a little burnt out on the history thing. And then this mixes things up a bit because it's fantasy. And,
and I think the Warhammer fans, obviously, the Warhammer 40K guys,
been dying for a game like this.
They've had lots of like different, RTS games and stuff, but the Warhammer fans, they haven't had I don't know if they've ever had a game like this. So, I think
Relic made some Warhammer ones before the 40K Dawn of War ones, I want to say. I never played them though.
I honestly don't know. I know all the ones that I own from Relic are all the Warhammer 40K.
I'm pretty sure there was
like
some
Dawn of War
ones,
and Dawn of War 2.
But I never played them, so I could be totally wrong.
Yeah. I'll have to do a little bit of looking into that.
I
know there was an RPG, like the huge MMO. There was the Warhammer MMO that came out a few years ago.
Wow, I missed that
was
one.
Based on the same universe. Yeah, it was a big, you could play as, it was the classic Warhammer that got turned into an MMO, so. I didn't play it either myself, but I did have a couple friends that did, so.
I think that came out during the period when I was living under a rock.
Yeah, fair enough.
So other sort of big news.
Yep.
Heroes of the Storm is going open beta next month.
Right. Yes.
So open beta May 19th, and they announced a proper release date of June 2nd.
Wow.
Heroes of the Storm is awesome. I love this game. It's, we played on Monday night, I think, for 4 or 5 hours.
Oh, wow.
Boys.
Nice. Sweet.
It's just such a fun game with a low barrier to entry,
Mm-hmm. Being free is obviously doesn't get much lower barrier to entry than that.
Yeah, free is good.
Yeah.
So it's coming out. We are running a contest on the site right now. You can find it on the Facebook page and our Twitter. If you magically don't have access to Heroes of the Storm and you want to get in, I'm giving away 7 beta keys. So
and those are for the closed beta happening right now.
So you can play it now. That ends on Friday. So you'll be in there a good 3 weeks before all the other noobs get in there. And you can...
for the open beta.
You can beat them down.
Sweet.
I love Heroes of the Storm. It's such a good game. So
there's a game I need to again play a bit more of.
I wonder if they're going to have more characters in time with the launch as well. They've been on a pretty good steady stream of launching characters. I just bought the new character Sylvanas on Monday. I had enough gold, so I purchased her.
Oh, nice.
She's
Sweet.
Awesome. Oh, she's so good.
Yeah, I haven't purchased any characters in Heroes yet, but yeah, funnier things have happened, and I like to support the games that I play, so it wouldn't surprise me if I continue to play it.
Yeah, Blizzard's been
probably pick some up.
Blizzard's been busy the last little while. That's for sure.
Yeah, they have with
Hearthstone on. Yeah, it's pretty sweet. I've been playing a decent amount of Hearthstone on my phone since they released that on phone, which is kind of cool. I've been playing the campaign mode stuff that I just never got to in between jobs at work. It's like, I got half an hour. I'll play some Hearthstone sitting in my van.
Sweet. Yeah, I guess it's perfect for that, eh?
Yeah, definitely.
I actually had some friends that managed to get BlizzCon tickets last weekend on Saturday.
I didn't try on Saturday. I should have tried, but
yeah, they got in for November. So
I was looking at the calendar. Cool. That time frame is so good for me too. I technically just need to get one day off, like call in sick that Friday. I mean, take a vacation day that Friday.
Yeah, no, the Mike and Stacy from RP Wabam. So they're going to be. Yeah, there's probably going to be, I don't know if I'm allowed to talk about it or not yet, but they might have something really cool in the works on their YouTube channel for that as well.
I've always wanted to go to BlizzCon. I hear good things.
Yeah, it's, I think another friend of mine as well might be going to that. So that'll be cool. So we'll have some first-hand experiences to talk about. Who knows? Maybe we can convince one of them to come on the show and tell us about BlizzCon when they get back.
Yeah, if I don't end up magically going.
There you go.
I was looking at the dates. It's far enough that like I could save the money for a ticket.
Yeah.
And I've got a place to stay right near there.
Mm-hmm.
Speaking of conventions, obviously with the Star Wars one that just happened, that looked so cool. I'm like, oh man, I'm going to go to that next year. And they're like, oh, Star Wars Celebration 2016, Europe. And okay.
Yeah, it's in London.
Good luck with that. I'm not going to do it next year. It's like, oh.
Yeah, it's a bit of a bummer.
BlizzCon's definitely been on my list for a long time. I don't know why I haven't made it happen for whatever reason, considering I own like every Blizzard game. I'm not a fanatic, but I definitely like their games.
I feel like it would be an enjoyable convention. Oh, yeah. I'd probably enjoy it.
Pretty sure they.
I've never been to QuakeCon either.
Yeah, I don't have any desire for QuakeCon.
I feel like QuakeCon has lost a lot of its luster, seeing as they haven't really released anything in so long.
No, it's
kind of disappointing, actually.
It's definitely probably geared more towards the hardcore PC audience.
Mm-hmm.
So,
and BlizzCon isn't?
Well, it's like it's FPS based, so like super hard.
Yeah,
I don't know. Yeah, I don't know.
And World of Warcraft is less hardcore than
because girls play it.
I know enough girls that play first-person shooters. The world's a changing, my friend. Funny. The world's a changing.
Now that we talk about it, I'm gonna see if I could scam my way into BlizzCon. I have a place to stay down there, so
yeah,
it would work out. It would work out. I just need to buy a plane ticket, and LA is not too expensive.
No, you can usually get tickets to LA for fairly cheap from up here. So, yeah.
So,
oh,
did you finish it?
I have not yet.
2 episodes left.
Oh wow. Okay. I think I'm at episode 6.
I'm ahead of you.
Yeah, you are now.
And now I know what you mean. The last time I told Nikki, I'm like, okay, now I know what the fuck he's talking about. The very first scene of the 4th episode. Jesus Christ. I was cringing. Like, oh, God.
Yeah.
That was hardcore.
Yeah, it gets a little crazy. So, with that being said, they've already announced, this got announced, I think it was yesterday or today, Daredevil on Netflix has been renewed for season 2 for 2016.
So I imagine same time frame next year.
That would be my guess.
That show
is so good.
That show does not disappoint. I posted on Twitter and on Instagram the best show not on TV.
Yes.
Like, hands down, man. I love Game of Thrones, and I'd say this show is just right up there with Game of Thrones. It's different, it's not as not as political, and it doesn't have the fantasy, but man, the characters and the story is just so good. The execution is so good. Like, I don't know. I'm enjoying this show so much. Everyone my coworkers, anyone I run into, I'm like, have you watched Daredevil? Like, no, I hear good things. I'm like, man, it's awesome. You have to watch it.
Stop talking to me. Go watch it.
Watch it on your phone. You got free LTE. Yes. Do it.
Get on it. Yeah, no, it's awesome. We're taking it a little bit slower, but we're enjoying the crap out of it.
Well, Nikki likes it, so we've been watching about 1 or 2 episodes a night. I think I think the only day we didn't watch any was Sunday.
Oh, okay.
We were watching Game of Thrones.
Sunday was a huge night for TV.
But
I've also been following up. I don't know if you've gotten into this or not. Silicon Valley.
No,
started up again.
One of my coworkers at work. He's like, you watch Game of Thrones, you don't watch Silicon Valley? He's like, you're a fucking nerd. What the hell, man? And I'm like,
I won't lie, you would like it.
Oh yeah, from what I can tell,
is awesome.
It's like inside baseball, like geeky tech industry, right?
Oh, dude, it is
obviously
so good.
not,
I watched the first season last year, obviously, and I just watched episodes 1 and 2 last night, and it is so good.
They're not
episodes 1 and 2 of the new season.
We're not exactly like those guys are in terms of like designing firms and venture capital stuff like they are.
No.
But we can relate to a lot of the geeky, nerdy stuff in there.
Oh yeah. Plus, we both sort of work in tech.
It seems a lot more respectable than the shit they do on Big Bang Theory.
Hey, I love that show. You leave it alone.
I know. I just don't like the look of it. It just looks weird. I don't know. It's so like everyone loves it.
My Big Bang Theory because my brother reminds me of high school.
My brother loves it, and lots of people like it. You know what it is? I've just never watched it. I'm just judging it strict book by its cover.
Oh, dude, it's awesome. It's an awesome show. I've watched every season. I love it. So,
but Daredevil,
but to each their own.
Go freaking watch it.
Yes.
If you listen to anything we say, go watch Daredevil.
Yep, pretty much.
That's
so good. Oh, hey, did you watch? I know I forgot to put it on our list here, but did you see the trailer for the new Jurassic World trailer that they released this week?
I didn't see the new one. I didn't know there was a new one.
Oh yes, they released a new trailer. When it comes to Jurassic World, I am flip-flopping so far back and forth. I go from, oh my god, I want to see this so bad, this looks amazing, to, I don't know if this is going to be so good. And then, oh my god, I want to see it so bad, it looks awesome. And it's this total flip-flop. This last trailer is more of the, oh my god, I want to see that, it looks amazing. Yeah. So, yeah, it looks super cool. They kind of...
I wasn't pumped off the first trailer, but the second trailer was like, okay, this looks like it might be pretty decent. And obviously with Chris Pratt coming off of Guardians of the Galaxy, knowing how awesome he is, that's what made me interested in wanting to watch Jurassic World. So I'll have to go watch that trailer when we're done.
Yeah, take a look. It looks pretty sweet.
So I think, well, no, this is still news, so we're not really going to break this into another section because there isn't another section. But we're kind of getting into movie talk here. And speaking of trailers, obviously with Star Wars Celebration, they dropped a new actual trailer as opposed to a teaser for Star Wars: The Force Awakens. And oh my god,
yeah,
I had shivers.
Oh, wow. Like, he's going there.
The music, just like, oh my god, they're bringing Star Wars back. Like the good Star Wars. This looks good.
Yeah. It made me warm and fuzzy inside.
It was like, everything was just, oh my god, like, wow, this looks awesome. Crash Star Destroyers, the new villain, TIE fighters, X-Wings.
It looks gritty again, too. It looks kind of dirty and gritty. It doesn't look so clean like the last ones were.
Everything is CG, right?
Yeah. It's, again, if it's go watch it.
It's on the site, on the Facebook page.
If you're a fan of Star Wars, just go watch it. I'm pretty sure
you've seen it. You'd have to be living under a rock to miss it.
Yeah, I had it on the 4K screen at work at lunch the other day when it came out, and I had everybody in the office watching it. So,
like I said earlier, it's going to be the year of Star Wars Christmas. Star Wars Battlefront, Star Wars. Speaking of Star Wars, there was also a lesser known trailer, teaser that was behind closed doors at Star Wars Celebration was for Star Wars Rogue One.
Yeah, that's that new movie that was written by Gary Whitta.
Yeah,
That's looking really cool. They're talking about doing this story in between 3 and 4 about how they get the plans to the Death Star.
Yeah, so if people don't know, along with the mainline Star Wars movies going forward, like Force Awakens, they have what they call anthology movies they're going to be making. So Star Wars Rogue One takes place, like Dane was saying, between, the third and fourth movies, but it's not like Darth Vader and Luke. It's like, here's the rebels and their mission to steal the Death Star. Because that's never shown. Yeah. It's like, she just shows up, plugs it in R2 and is like, go see Obi-Wan, and sends him off and so forth. But like, you're going to get that story in between. And there's going to be plans for more movies like this with other parts of the Star Wars universe going forward, which is really cool because they're one-offs. They're not part of the trilogies or anything, but they're still going to be awesome stories.
Yeah, I mean, I think it's a way for them to sort of flesh out, too, and sort of show off the rest of the universe that's not just Jedis and Sith,
So it was a Handycam trailer. It's on Facebook if it hasn't been ripped down. I think it already has been. They were pretty tight-lipped with that. It was.
I didn't actually get a chance to even watch the trailer.
If you didn't get a chance to see it, it basically started with just a jungle, like I want to say like an overview, or you were looking up through the trees from like a forest area, and TIE fighters were whizzing by, and I can't remember who was narrating now. They were talking.
Somebody awesome.
Yeah, there was a really cool narrator going on. I can't remember exactly what he said. TIE fighters are whizzing by. And meanwhile, the shot is panning out and out and out. And then it ends and you just see the Death Star. Like, kind of like a moon to the planet. It's right. I guess this is during the period of the construction of the Death Star. So, right. Yeah, it's like, oh, wow, the crowd goes nuts. It was such a cool teaser.
That's exciting. I mean, I listened to Gary Whitta on the Tested.com podcast. This is only a test for years. Yeah. And he's a super cool guy. He used to be the editor for PC Mag, PC Gamer in the US. For like quite a while, and then he started getting into writing movie scripts and stuff. So when I heard he was on board, I was kind of excited because here's a guy that I knew was a giant geek, just like we are, that managed to get involved in writing, Star Wars. So
I know he did the first draft, and I feel like he was also involved with the Force Awakens as well.
I'm not sure about that. I do know that he was involved with, the anthology one.
With Rogue One for sure. He was talking about it. He was like, man, it's like a childhood dream being asked.
Oh, absolutely.
Hey, you want to write the next Star Wars? Yeah.
Yeah.
Like a writer's dream, but also cool. A writer's nightmare too.
Yeah. Oh, I'm sure. A little bit of stress there. Just a little bit.
Man, it's been like a trailer heavy week, that's for sure, for movies. Pretty exciting.
Yeah, man, we're starting to get into that sort of summer blockbuster. I mean, think about it, man. The Avengers 2
bought my tickets.
Comes out May 1st.
I think I mentioned that. Did I mention that last week?
No, I don't think you did.
I already bought my tickets.
Nice.
Not watching it.
I'm going to see if I can get that in either D-Box or...
No, there's no There's no D-Box here, but there is IMAX, so we got IMAX. Nice. We're going on the Saturday. There was no good seats on Friday. Otherwise, I would have bought tickets for Friday.
Yeah.
I'm pretty stoked.
I actually think that Friday night, I think I'm at a work camping trip that night, actually. I'll have to go see it on Saturday when I get back.
Still on the movie train. Choo choo. They also released the... Batman!
Yeah.
Batman versus Superman.
So what did you think about this? I had very mixed reviews of this on my Twitter feed.
I have mixed feelings of it. It looks awesome and it looks terrible.
Yeah, you think so?
I don't think it looks terrible. I just don't... I don't know what the premise is. Batman and Superman are friends. They're part of the Justice League. Obviously, there's some thing or someone, which I'm pretty sure from the trailer, I believe it was narrated by Lex Luthor or Jesse Eisen, whatever his name is, the actor who's playing him. So obviously there's got to be some plot where Lex Luthor pitches them against each other. Is what's the problem has to be.
You haven't seen Batman, like any of the
I've never seen
animated ones?
I've never seen any of the animated ones.
Oh, okay. They essentially did this in the animated one. So this is sort of a spin on, and of course the animated one is from the comic books. So they've sort of, there's an existing plot line that's been done in the comic books, and this actually follows that.
Injustice has like a Batman versus Superman kind of storyline in it.
Yeah, I mean that was very, very sort of side Injustice on its own, but there was a very specific Batman versus Superman sort of storyline in the comic books.
Batman was always like, well, we need to have something in case these guys go bad. They're good now, but what happens if things change?
Yeah, it's along those lines. There's a whole bunch of other stuff that kind of goes along with it, and I mean,
it looked cool.
I'm obviously not going to ruin it, but
super dark, like the DC universe. Is dark.
I like that a lot about it. Actually,
they had Ben Affleck. They didn't have him talking at all, except for when he was in the trailer. They cut to an image of the super like armored Batman suit of some sorts, and of course, you've got your crazy Batman voice. Obviously, it sounded like it was coming maybe through the suit, and it was like amplified or something. It was
they did it. That was something interesting where they sort of sounded like they synthesized his voice a lot more than just sort of him doing a husky.
It might have been something.
I am Batman.
It might have been something to do with the helmet or the suit that he was wearing.
Yeah, I'll be curious to find out. I mean, I personally really liked the last Superman movie. I thought it was great. A lot of people either disliked it or liked it. I
liked
I don't know.
Stuff in it. I didn't love it, but there was definitely some cool stuff. I really liked the fights. The fight was awesome. Destroying the whole city, because that's what it would be like. You've got like these, superhumans that are essentially like gods, and they just wreck the city, and it was I thought that was wicked.
Yeah, I mean, I think a lot of people dislike that because obviously it seemed like, Superman and didn't give a shit about anybody in that city because, he wasn't at least like, hey, maybe we should evacuate the city, or hey, maybe we should fight over here away from the people. Like, so I mean, I can sort of see like it would have taken a very quick shot in that film to cut to like somebody saying like, oh man, we evacuated the city just in time or something like that.
Well, it's kind of like the Hell's Kitchen in Daredevil, right? Like in Avengers, it's all candy coated. Iron Man and Hulk and them are punching and smashing aliens. Yeah. They weren't there the instant the portal opened, and there was only 5 of them, and there was hundreds of aliens that came through the portal. So how many innocent people were murdered and killed, right? Like, and how much stuff was destroyed that, that isn't shown on the camera, right? Like this is, this was an alien invasion. So, with Superman, it's kind of like, there's no time for that. It's just like, this is what's going on. I got to deal with it. And you don't get caught up in that.
So I mean, that was obviously like sort of a negative that a lot of people sort of
they're like, oh man,
pulled from,
that fight
Superman
leveled the city.
Totally wouldn't be like that.
They probably killed like tons of people, and it's just like, well, yeah, you can question everything in a movie and get dragged down in those finer details or whatever, right?
Yeah. But I mean, I won't lie, I'm really excited about this because Zack Snyder, the guy that's directing, is one of my favorite directors.
I like him.
He's done a lot of really cool stuff.
He's got a really cool visual style.
Oh yeah, I like the way that he tells a story. I don't know, I'm a fan. I'm a big fan. But I understand a lot of people sort of have their qualms with him. Somebody on my Facebook was talking about how they really, really did not like the look of this new Batman versus Superman. They thought it looked awful. So we'll see. I mean, I think if anything, it'll be some people are either going to love it and some people might end up hating it. So I think that it's probably going to be huge, and I think that it's going to be worth a watch.
I guess the whole premise, it must be leading into a Justice League thing, right? Like that's
exactly
why they're
what
bringing them together.
Yep, they've already announced the Justice League movie. I think that's coming. Was it 2017?
And this is 2016. So this is still next year. So it's even farther out than Star Wars, even. So that's going to be next summer's big movie.
Yeah,
with Captain America,
it's going to be
Civil War.
Oh man, that is going to be so sweet. Wow,
that makes me excited because Avengers 2: Age of Ultron is Joss Whedon, and he's amazing director. He's awesome.
He's so good. He is one of those directors that he is incredible in his way to take big stars, put them all in a movie, and yet have them all like work with them all and create a functional film. I swear, like no other director in Hollywood can like do that like he can.
Where they all just,
and it's incredible.
Everyone's so natural on screen and no one's trying to showboat each other and so forth.
Yeah. Like it's just, he does such a good job of making the whole, like everybody involved, it's just such a cohesive film, you know?
It's disappointing that he's leaving, but at the same time, I'm not upset because the next Avengers, obviously, oops, that was my pen I just threw across the table. They've already lined up the next few movies, and the director for the next Avengers Part 1 and 2, because the next Avengers is actually going to be a two-parter, the Infinity Gauntlet, I believe.
Yeah, that's what they're talking about.
It's being directed by the director of Winter Soldier, Captain America: Winter Soldier.
Oh,
so that makes me really
excited
because Winter Soldier is awesome.
Yeah, I agree. I love Winter Soldier.
Is right now currently my favorite Marvel movie. So
interesting. Okay, wow, that's high
I've
praise.
heard good things of Avengers. Like they've had premieres. I think it launches Friday in like Australia and stuff, so they get it early. Those bastards.
Really?
Yeah, it's Australia, and I want to say some parts of
here it's next weekend, right? May 1st.
Yeah, some parts of Asia are like it's launching now. Actually, it's probably tonight.
Really, that early?
Yeah, some weird thing with their markets. They kind of get some of these movies a little bit early.
Interesting, huh? I would not have guessed that.
No, it's just something in the last few years.
I wonder if it's a way to try to combat piracy. Release them there first instead of over here, because normally over here they release them, and then by the time they get over there, I know they're pirated quite heavily.
They come out way later normally in those territories. Yeah, maybe.
Yeah,
that makes sense.
I mean, I don't know. I'm sort of guessing, but yeah, might be a reason at least. Might have to talk to some of the people that might know a little bit more about that than I do.
So, I think we're looking good in terms of...
Yeah.
I don't really have anything else I need to bring up. I do have a new section that I want to bring up, though.
Oh.
This is going to be called Gaming 101 with Rico and Dane. This segment's not going to be every week, and it's totally random.
Sweet. I like it.
So, I don't know how many people out there have PS4s. Or even Xbox Ones for that matter.
Around 25 million or so PS4s.
That's a few people. They all listen to this podcast.
Couple.
We're super successful.
Totally.
And we're going to get invited to all special events from here on out.
Done.
Because of our huge listener base. Anyway.
I like it.
If you got a PS4 or an Xbox One, this applies to both. I wrote down PS4, but obviously in the last couple of weeks, I played Hardline and The Order. But I don't own those games. I borrowed those games. Guess what?
The library.
Well, yeah, the library.
Or friends.
Those games take almost 100 gigs of my hard drive up. So if you have a launch Xbox or a launch PS4, that's a considerable amount of space on a game you borrowed or rented.
That's 1/5 of the hard drive.
I honestly, my PS4, I filled the hard drive last year before Christmas. Wow. Actually, over the holiday, I replaced my hard drive with a 2 terabyte drive.
Nice. Very nice.
But what I wanted to say was, if you're not going to play these games, before you get screwed by not being able to download a patch or a demo or install your new game, if you know you're not going to play the game again, or you borrowed it from your buddy, just delete it from your hard drive. You'll free up so much space, and your saves will stay there. You won't lose your saves, at least on PS4.
Yeah.
I haven't messed around with the Xbox enough to know. I'm pretty sure it doesn't delete your game saves.
Well, if you're a PlayStation Plus member, you can just save them in the cloud regardless.
And my
right?
cloud's full.
So you'll always have
PlayStation
those.
Plus.
Oh, well, it sucks to be
it
you.
fills up pretty quick. Some of the games have huge saves. I have
there's only 1 gig of
I have
space.
to go through online and clear that out, because it was good, because it was automatically saving all my stuff, but I got to a point where there was no space, so it just stopped loading my stuff to the cloud.
Oh,
so you gotta be
okay.
careful with that. But yeah, if you're done with the game, just delete it off your hard drive. You'll still have your save. Just reinstall it the next time you play it, if you ever play it again.
Yeah, that's, I mean, the bigger question sometimes.
Especially with a 500 gig hard drive, it's not very many games. It's like about 8 games to 10 games, and your hard drive's going to be full, because they usually install the whole Blu-ray worth of data on the hard drive.
Yeah, their games are getting
they're
huge.
Like 50 gigs.
At plus sometimes. I mean, yes, they're just massive. Games have gotten so big. I know what just came out? Oh, Mortal Kombat. They're talking about, I don't know what it was on the consoles, but I know
on PC.
No, sorry, it wasn't Mortal Kombat. It was Grand Theft Auto 4
7 DVDs
on the PC. Was like it was huge on PC. We're talking like 65 gigs.
It probably would have been able to come out on one Blu-ray, but who has Blu-ray drives in their PC? Like nobody.
Yeah, I mean, who has optical drives in their PCs?
I have an optical drive, you son of a bitch.
I actually do too, but I don't have one in my laptop.
So. I don't have one in my laptop either. But in my main PC, I've got one. But
I do too, even though I don't remember the last time I used it.
Honestly, it's a cup holder.
Hey, that's not a bad idea.
Actually, I use my optical drive on my PC. I actually buy a lot of PC games retail because I don't want to wait for the goddamn download. And it's faster to...
Oh, is your internet that bad?
No, my internet's fast. I've got good down. I've got shit up. That's the problem with my damn internet. Now,
for me, it was faster for Destiny. For PS4, it was faster for me to go home and download it than it was to stand in line and pick it up at GameStop. Yeah. So, or EB here, I guess. So, yeah.
Yeah, they definitely fixed the PlayStation downloading. On PS3, it was so slow to download a game from the store, regardless of what your connection was like.
Yeah, that was weird. I think they kind of
fixed that with the PS4 back end now. I know Steam, like people are complaining about GTA 5, who purchased it digitally on Steam, were complaining about how long it took to download.
It's a massive game, 65 gigs.
Yeah, but like people were talking like
your internet connection isn't amazing.
Days.
Well, yeah, for people that don't have great connections, I could see that. I mean, think about it. If you only have a 5 meg connection,
yeah. If you have a 5 meg connection, you should get off the internet.
Ooh.
So bad.
Those are fighting words for some people.
It sucks. I only have 25. Unfortunately.
100.
Yeah, F you. We're hopefully going to be putting fiber in my neighborhood soon. And then we'll see who's laughing.
Yeah.
I'm honestly...
My luck will end up moving and I'll end up in a spot where I have crap internet.
I honestly can't wait until we get it. I've actually said to my wife, we should sell the house and go build the house over here. She's like, why do you want to live over there? No reason. Meanwhile, it's a neighborhood that's like fully fiber fed.
Oh, jeez.
I don't know.
We're terrible.
This is getting pretty geek speak, but for anyone out there who doesn't know, if you have the ability to get fiber optic service in your neighborhood, there's no question.
Awesome.
Single digit ping, insane uploads, consistent quality. It's so leaps and bounds better than copper,
It's the
whether
dream.
it be DSL or coax, like cable. Fiber is amazing. It's there's no corrosion, there's no interference. It's like HDMI. It's on or off, and basically there's no limit on the throughput. It's just dictated by the equipment at the end of the line.
Like I said, it is the dream.
Yeah,
it's an expensive dream.
They've been starting a build in my city, but they've been doing it in weird areas. I don't know, no rhyme or reason as to where they're putting it. They've been putting it in some weird areas. They're supposed to be building the whole plant out, I don't know, in the next little while, hopefully. I don't know. I'm dying to get it at my house, and I've contemplated moving to get it. It's so good.
I love my connection, but I do wish I had faster ups. I mean, they give me 100 meg down, but they only give me, like, I think it's 5 up. Yeah,
I get
which is terrible.
I get 2 up, and I should get 5, but I'm so far from the hub site that I can.
Degradation.
The attenuation is so high that I can only get 2 up, and
that's
with
bad.
TV, I can only get 25 down, which is fine. 25 down's good. I could get 50 if I wanted. But then I'd have to cancel TV. But I like TV.
Yeah, that's fair. So, that's a good gaming tip. I actually have some games on my hard drive that I need to get rid of because I don't play them anymore, and they're just taking up a lot of space.
And if you want an even better tip, upgrade your hard drive.
Oh!
I actually inexpensively got a 2 terabyte hard drive for my PS4. I want to say I'm actually going to screw around here and do a search on the internet.
Whoa.
I believe...
Don't get crazy.
If you look up, I want to say Eurogamer.
There's a few really good how-tos out there.
Yeah, it's Eurogamer. How to cheaply upgrade your PS4 to a 2 terabyte hard drive. So this article came out last year, and I bought the hard drive that they mention in this article. I bought it off of NCIX. I think it was $80. And it's just a regular SATA 2 terabyte hard drive. It's not SSD or anything, but it's faster than the stock drive. But the thing is it's an external drive, and you actually have to do some work.
You got to pull it out of
crack it out of the case, and then you pop the hard drive out. PS4.
The PS4 is very easy to swap out the drive.
So the cool thing about this particular drive is it's super cheap. For whatever reason, the external USB 3 hard drive with an enclosure is cheaper than if you were to just try and buy a straight 2 terabyte hard drive that was ready to be installed. They're more expensive for whatever reason. They're $150, $200, which makes no sense. They don't even come with an enclosure, and this thing's $80 on NCIX or Amazon at any given time. So the cool thing is when you it's a little kind of jaw like clenching. You're like cracking the case. You're like, oh god, I'm gonna break this. But when you get out,
but really, who cares? Because what you want is inside, and
that's true. You can totally manhandle it and rip it right out. Who cares? But the cool thing is,
if you don't want to use the
cool thing is after you take it apart, you put the old 500 gig hard drive from your PS4 in there, and now you have like a super fast 500 gig external USB 3 hard drive. You can use to back up PC stuff, or you can even use it. You can plug it straight into your Xbox, and now you have a 1 terabyte Xbox One.
There you go.
I just have it sitting in a drawer collecting dust because I have 50 million hard drives. But besides the point, So if you just do a search how to cheaply upgrade your PS4 to 2 terabytes, it'll be like the top search result. If you're thinking about upping your hard drive space on a PS4, definitely look into doing it.
I need to do that. I just need to bite the bullet and do that one of these days. Because I know I'm getting close to my limit.
Yeah, I filled mine out. I'm like, holy crap, that was fast. It wasn't even a year. It was within a year of the PS4 coming out. I was already full. I think I do a majority of my gaming on my PS4.
Okay. Yeah, I mean, for me, it's my PC drives. I've got like 3 different PC drives that I have games on, and it's just getting ridiculous.
I need another PC drive. I need to get another SSD. Yeah,
that's where I'm at. I think I have 228-bit or 128 gig SSDs, and I need to get another one that's just for games.
Yeah, I have two as well. One for my OS, one a 240 gig. I got on sale for games, but it's full, and I need another one.
Yeah.
The 240 gig doesn't go very far with 50 gig games.
No, not anymore.
They're just so expensive. Like, it would be nice if an I don't understand it.
They're coming down though. They're coming down quickly.
Obviously, every PC now has them. The prices should be coming down more, and the size should. It's not fast enough. It doesn't make sense considering everyone who builds a PC gets an SSD. Every Mac laptop has an SSD. They're all coming from the same plants. Like, you know what I mean? So the economy of scale, this doesn't make sense. The prices on them haven't dropped fast enough, I don't think. I think they're just kind of greasing customers, to be honest.
Yeah, well, there is also different speeds too. So a lot of the speeds of the drives that we're seeing, that we're buying, or that you and I would want to buy as a gamer, are quite a bit faster than the ones that you're going to see in your MacBook Pros and stuff, though.
I guess.
There's also that as well.
Whatever. It's bullshit. It's bullshit, man.
But I do think that they are not coming down fast enough. But,
yeah, because, like, man, I would have loved to put like a terabyte or two SSD in my PS4, but holy crap, they're
right.
They're so expensive.
They're really expensive.
Even the hybrids.
The 480 gigs are coming down now. You can get the 480 gigs for like right around $200 now. So I mean, they're coming down.
I think that's what I'm going to pick up. It's taking time.
Yeah. So, well, I mean, I think that kind of wraps up our show today, doesn't it?
You know, there was big news, but there wasn't a lot of it.
No. Bit of a quieter week. I think the lull before we get some big games kind of coming up in the next little while here.
Yeah, I can't really think of anything crazy.
I mean, E3 is right around the corner, so I mean, we're going to be, got a couple big game releases, and then we're going to have E3.
I'm still contemplating. I feel so bad. It's like, I want to go to E3 so bad. The last time I went was 2013. To be quite honest, I don't have any vacation time. Like, I could go.
Oh, okay.
I have the money, and I could go, but I just don't have time off. And E3 is like in the middle of a week. It doesn't go over a weekend. So it's like...
Yeah, that's a huge bummer.
Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday. If you want to go to the whole thing, you don't have to. You could leave early. The thing is the convention essentially starts on Sunday night.
Yep. So you gotta get there on Saturday, be ready for Sunday, or get there Sunday morning and be ready.
Last year, or when I went, I got there Sunday. Monday is press conferences. Tuesday in the morning, there was another press conference, Nintendo's thing, before the show opened. And then you have the show 3 days. And I think I left the Friday. I may have left the Thursday night after the show late. I can't remember. It was a couple of years ago now. Yeah. And this year, I think the C3 is going to be a good one. We're just, Uncharted.
It has the potential to be a good one.
There. Battlefront's going to be there. We're a year and a bit into the console cycle. It might be just a bunch of trailers. Like the year I went was a bunch of trailers. There was quite a few. There was hands-on, but everyone remembers the launch of the PS4 and the Xbox One. Everyone's got their rose-colored glasses on. There was nothing really amazing at launch.
No, not really. I mean, we're still kind of waiting for those killer apps, if you will.
Yeah, and I have a feeling that a lot of those killer apps are going to be on display at this E3. If not this E3, definitely next year will be an insane year. Yeah,
I think you're right there. I think that next year's probably going to be huge.
It's going to be good. I feel like the VR stuff's going to come out this year.
Oh man, see, that's the stuff that I'm really excited about.
Sony said
there's a part of me that kind of wants to just buy one of those Oculus dev kits and be like, screw it, and just start getting in on it.
The Morpheus, they're talking about next year. Yeah, so it's going to be it's probably going to be at E3. Valve,
damn it,
is going to. They're talking about getting their device out this fall.
Oh yeah, the HTC Vive.
They're talking about this fall. this winter?
Yeah.
So, okay, obviously.
Steam's talking because they're partnered with the HTC guys, right? So they got the HTC Vive, which is the Steam one. And yeah, they're talking about it coming out this Christmas, like this fall.
So that leaves Oculus is probably going to have a booth at E3 if they're smart. They're going to have their final version, and they're going to announce they're coming out this fall, because a huge advantage to come out first is everyone's going to develop for your platform. So I think it's going to be an arms race here with who comes out first. Like, I'm not going to be surprised if Oculus is at E3 and they're like, oh, here's the final version, and we're coming out this fall for this much money.
It wouldn't surprise me, in all honesty, this year if... I think we're going to see the Steam guys come out with theirs. We're going to see the HTC Vive probably come out this year, like they're saying. But I don't think we're going to see Oculus this year. I think we're going to see Oculus next year, along with Project Morpheus from Sony. And I think the reason being is price point. From what I understand, the HTC Vive is hitting a price point that's going to be significantly more expensive than what Oculus is trying to hit. Oculus has already said they're trying to hit like a price point of under $500. And I think that we all know Sony's probably going to have to hit a price point of very similar to that in order to be competitive.
The advantage...
Whereas the HTC Vive, from what I'm gathering and from sort of the grapevine that I've been hearing about, is that they're going to be looking at probably... There's even rumors that this could be anywhere between $500 and $1,000.
Yeah, I've heard upwards of $1,000. The one advantage that the Sony, the Project Morpheus has, is that you don't need a beefy PC. It's for PS4.
Yeah.
So they have an advantage. Yeah, like, if you take into account to run Oculus and to run the HTC, the Valve headset, you need a good PC. So that's a minimum of $1,500 there. If you haven't updated your PC in the last,
can you run 4K?
In the last 5 years?
If not,
you don't need to run 4K, but still.
Well, no, but we're talking a 1080p game on Oculus. You need to run it significantly faster frames in order for it to look and work properly. So even a 1080p game, you're talking, needs to refresh at 120 hertz, so it needs to run at 120 frames a second, which means you better have a beefy PC because... we're talking, from what I'm understanding, the guys on the tested.com podcast were talking about this the other day. They're essentially saying that if you can run games 60 frames a second on a 4K, in 4K, then you'll be able to run 1080p on Oculus.
Yeah, that sounds insane.
Which, that's just the reality of it. Like, the horsepower, because otherwise you've got too much judder and it's hard on you and you get sick easily. It's not easy, that's for sure.
I'm pretty sure there's going to be a huge VR presence at E3. I'd be surprised if it wasn't.
I can't wait to mess around with some Oculus stuff at PAX this year. So,
actually, I should start my development company and submit an application to Valve to get a free dev kit. Yeah, I'm a game developer, man. Making games for years. Do you want to send us one of those headsets for free, please? That's the one cool thing Valve's doing, is they are hooking up developers with their headset. You can apply and you can get the headset. I won't lie, I was on Oculus's site yesterday, and to be honest, if they offered the newest dev, like the Crescent Bay version, I would have ordered one. But the thing is they're only offering the Dev Kit 2.
I know.
Which doesn't make sense.
Which does have 1080p screens at least, but it's not all the stuff you want.
It's not the newest one. Like, I don't
understand.
And
it doesn't have the OLED screens. It's,
I don't understand. I want the Crescent Bay one. If that was the one they offered, I would have bought one already.
I'm so excited though. VR is exciting to me. So,
well, when we played with it at PAX,
it's incredible.
Like, it's like the Mario 64 jump.
It's a huge jump.
It's that jump
so
from
big.
2D to 3D. We haven't been, games have been getting amazing, graphically realistic and the visuals, but we're desensitized to how good they look now. In our mind, they always looked that good. They never did. But in our mind, your mind makes up that gap, right? In quality.
Yeah.
So, when we were playing 3D games on PS2, man, these games look fucking amazing. Oh, these are awesome, right? But if you look at a PS2 game compared to now, they look like garbage.
Yeah.
But you didn't. That's not what you saw when you originally played them, right?
Well, no, of course, but of course, back then that was the top, though, right?
There hasn't been that jump. Like when you played Mario 64 or your first 3D game from 2D, you were like, "Holy shit!" And
this is the future.
And that's what playing when you play with Oculus. That's that feeling again. Like when I put that headset on and we were playing that at PAX, I was like, "Holy shit!" Like, this is intense. Like, it's not for every game.
No.
But for, like, any type of vehicle or combat game, like, or a shooter, like, it was so cool to play. They were using Hawken as a demo?
Yeah, they were playing, the first year at PAX, we rocked the Hawken.
You control your vehicle separately, like with your joysticks, just like you would in real life. But you can turn around and look around the cockpit. You're looking left, you're looking right, you're looking up. And so you could be strafing while tracking an enemy on your left. And, it was so cool. Like, it was like, wow.
It felt a lot more intuitive, that's for sure.
This is amazing. This is game changing.
Titanfall 2 on Oculus? What?
I think like I said, I would be surprised if there wasn't a huge VR thing at E3 this year.
Yeah. Yep, VR I feel is the future.
Well,
definitely.
With that little tangent that we went on when we were trying to end the show, I think we're done. I just want to do some house cleaning. We have a couple contests running. I already mentioned one. If you're not in Heroes of the Storm and you want a key, you got a pretty good chance. There's only, I want to say 100 and something, maybe 200 entries of getting a key, and I'm giving away 7. So
sweet. Now's your chance.
I want to say somewhere around 1 in 20. The math's totally wrong. Don't worry about the math. The math's good. You got pretty good chances at winning one of those keys if you get in on that. That ends on Friday. And then I did a stupid video on YouTube of me unboxing an amiibo. And I'm also giving that, it's a Lucario amiibo. I'm giving that away. The video is on YouTube. You can find the contest on our Twitter and our Facebook and our main site. So that's an exclusive. That one's hard to get. You can't find it. He's on eBay for a bunch of money. So if you're looking,
we're just giving him away for free.
I'm just giving him away.
Because that's what we do.
Oh, it was only $15, right? It's not worth anything unless you sell it, right? It's still only a $15 piece of plastic. So, but it's rare and people want it and it's hard to get. So I had duplicates because I ordered them. I multiple order because this stuff gets canceled because it's been such an annoying thing. So I had nothing to do with it and I didn't want to sell it. And I'm like, I'll just give it away. Someone can have it. So I'm running a contest that ends, I want to say, in a couple weeks. I got that open for a couple weeks. That contest has been proven a little more popular. I think upwards of 350 entries in that. So, but yeah, if you want to chance at a rare exclusive, retailer exclusive amiibo, definitely check out the site and
sweet.
You can enter that, share it with your friends, and check out the video I did on YouTube. Let me know if you think it's funny. Some of my friends thought it was pretty hilarious.
Nice. That was a good video.
Don't forget to subscribe to us on YouTube, follow us on Twitter. That's where you're going to get all the news immediately if you're following us on Twitter. And again, we're everywhere. It's all Geekoholics, Twitter, Tumblr, Instagram, whatever. So it's really easy to find us.
Absolutely.
You can hit me up on Twitter at RickF without a K, RICF.
And you can hit me up at Dane Cody, DaneCody on Twitter.
Let us know what you guys thought of the show. Send in your questions. You don't have to wait until the day of recording if you want to know something or see or have our input on it.
Yeah, absolutely.
Don't be afraid to hit us up. Chat us up on Twitter, man. We're down to talk about games whenever, And, if you hit us up online, you want to find out our PSN or our Steam names, play some games with us if and when we're available. Don't be afraid to ask, man.
Yeah, absolutely. Always looking for some cool people to play games with.
So with that, I want to say episode 5 is over. And
all right.
We are out.
Have a good one.
Peace.